Greetings, true believers! For today's video, let's dive back to 2007 superhero film that I thought it could be my favorite, but no. And for that, my friends, let's review Spider-Man 3. I saw Spider-Man 3 when I was a child. I saw this film on TV, and this is where it introduces me to become a Spider-Man fan and became a fan of Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I grew up watching this trilogy, and it's absolutely one of the greatest superhero trilogies of all time. And I saw Spider-Man 1, which is a classic, and Spider-Man 2 is an almost perfect sequel that a lot of people truly love this. And then Spider-Man 3 came out. From my expectations when I was a kid, I truly loved this movie more than two films, in my opinion, just before I was grown up. Because this film has a lot of everything that I like. A black suit, amazing sequences, amazing swings, and a lot of amazing action, good storytelling. And then the visuals are still pretty good despite it's from 2007. You know, it's strange and weird because the visuals from this film back in 2007 is much better than newer films when it comes to the crappy CGI and VFX. What the heck? You know, from this movie, it became Tobey Maguire such a powerful brawler, and it became much a different Spider-Man than all Spider-Man that I've seen in the comics, TV shows, and even movies and games. And now, as I am grown up, as 18 years old, when I watching this film again, I was kind of mixed when I was watching this again, because as much as I like the action sequences, the acting, the storytelling, the music, and the visual effects are dazzling, the storytelling, though, is much of a big problem that I possibly thought when I was young. There are things that I love and hate for this movie, and I'm giving you details later on for my rating, but here are some little details. Starts up with the goods. The action set pieces, the visual effects, the acting, the music, everything, they're really good for me. I love the action set pieces, much more different than Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 1. And I think the CGI were much better than those two films. And then the acting itself is pretty much personal. I really like it. The music, it's not composed by Danny Elfman, but rather composed by Christopher Young. I really like the composer, and pretty much different than Elfman's from two films. But I think this film really grew on me when it comes to that music. I really like it. The black suit theme. How can you hate this theme? It was iconic and it became a meme for many years now. Now with the cons. The film does suffer from a bit of pacing issues, and the symbiote suit is not as well handled as it could have been. I would recommend Spider-Man 3 to the fans of the character or the Raimi trilogy. However, be advised, there are things that I don't like the way they handled, which is the script, the storytelling, and then the pacing itself. So let's rate this movie of how I really like and then hate this film. So let's try making more details. Okay, so for Spider-Man 3, I'm giving the action 3.5 stars. The action set pieces are really exciting and amazing, and the film features some memorable set pieces, such as Spider-Man take on against Sandman for the first time, saving Gwen Stacy, the subway fight where Spider-Man in black suit take on against Sandman for the second round, and then the final battle between Spider-Man and New Goblin team up, take on against Sandman and Venom. However, the action like this, as much as I like it, is not as consistently good as in some previous films, and some of the action sequences feel a bit too long and drawn out. Comedy of the movie, I'm giving it 2.5 stars. The film has some funny moments, but the humor is not as consistent as in the previous two films. Some of the jokes fell flat, and the film's attempts at being self-aware can be a bit too on the nose. Whilst the film being aged, the Bully Maguire meme, while it's really amazing, it's not particularly that funny as the whole film itself. Story of the film, I'm giving it 3 stars. The film has a lot of potential because it has strong themes and messages such as revenge, forgiveness, and redemption. But it is ultimately bogged down by an overstuffed plot and some pacing issues. The film introduces 3 major villains: Sandman, Venom, and Harry Osborn as New Goblin, and then the dark side story of Peter Parker having black suit, and it tries to do too much with them, and as a result, the story feels rushed and the characters are not as well developed as they could be. Sure, the interesting concept of the symbiote suit is amazing. It has some emotional moments and memorable action set pieces. However, the whole film itself, when it comes to the plot, the story is amazing, but the execution did not handle it properly, and that's how the film hold it back. They could have done better when it comes to that execution and then the script. For suspense, I'm giving it 3.5 stars. The film has some suspenseful moments like the symbiote scene, because that Sam Raimi is known for insane suspense, like camera shots. That's amazing. And also Venom's close-up shots when it comes to transformation and his appearance is super terrifying. And then the final fight is somewhat suspenseful. But because of the film's overstuffed story and pacing issues, they prevent it from building much suspense. Additionally, the film's villains are not particularly terrifying at all. And pacing of the film, I'm giving it 2.5 stars. The film has a lot of action and excitement, but it can also be a bit slow and bogged down at times. The film's overstuffed plot and subplots can make it difficult to keep track of what's going on, and some of the scenes feel like they're dragging on. Look, as much as I love the film clocked in at 2 hours and 19 minutes, the longest film in the trilogy, but because of the Venom subplots and Gwen Stacy subplots, it makes it so much bad and it makes my head scratched. Plus, there are some fast-paced action sequences which is trying to be cool, but it did not work out and it was truly not worth it. For casual fans in the Spider-Man trilogy, I'm giving it B. For cinephiles, for OG Spider-Man fans, for Tobey Maguire fans in the Spider-Man trilogy, I'm giving it B. And critically, I'm giving it B. Spider-Man 3 is a flawed film, but it is also a fun and entertaining one. Not the best film in the trilogy, but it has some great moments. The film has some amazing action set pieces, memorable moments, and excellent performances from the cast. However, the film is also bogged down by an overstuffed plot, pacing issues, and some poorly developed characters. The film could have done better when it comes to exploring the dark side of Peter Parker, exploring the themes of revenge based on Spider-Man 1, and then the villains. They should focus on Sandman, then Venom, and New Goblin, and then the personal story arc. They should have done it much better. And overall, I think it's a solid installment to the trilogy. Not my favorite, but it is an enjoyable one by any means. If you enjoyed Spider-Man 3 more, then it's good. Not for me. I'm giving it 6.5 over 10. A solid film that you should definitely go check it out and add it to your collection at home.
A fine addition to my collection.